Ladies and gentlemen, I want to speak to the part of you that has been tested, the part of you that has been broken, the part of you that has been told to stay down. Because the truth is, every single one of us knows what it feels like to be discouraged, to feel as if the weight of the world is pressing down on our shoulders. But tonight, I'm here to tell you something you cannot forget. Your story is not over just because you've been knocked down. In fact, that is where your greatest chapter begins. We live in a world that often celebrates the finished product, the victory, the success story. But what really matters, what truly defines you, is the journey, the resilience, and the courage it takes to rise up when no one believes you can. This message is not just about motivation, it is about transformation. If you listen with an open heart, you will discover that the power to rise has been within you all along. So I ask you, don't just hear these words, feel them. Don't just sit back, lean in, because over the next few minutes, you're not just going to hear a speech. You're going to discover the strength to stand taller, dream bigger, and fight harder than you ever have before. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your call to rise up. Every struggle you face in life is not a punishment. It is preparation. Too often we look at our setbacks and ask, "Oh, why me?" But what if instead we began to see them as the very foundation that strengthens us for what's next? Struggles are not signs that you are weak. They are proof that life believes you are strong enough to handle something greater. Every failure, every disappointment, every closed door is not the end of your story. It is shaping you, refining you, and building a resilience that cannot be shaken. Think about the moments in your life where you felt the most pressure, the most pain, the most uncertainty. Those were the times that demanded the most out of you. And whether you realized it then or not, you came out stronger. You discovered a part of yourself you didn't know existed. You uncovered courage that only shows up in the face of adversity. That is the hidden gift of struggle. It forges you into someone capable of carrying more than you ever imagined. If you look at the people who have risen to greatness, they are not the ones who had an easy path. They are the ones who faced storms that should have broken them, but instead built them. They learned to stand taller because life pushed them down. They learned to fight harder because life tried to silence them. And they learned to believe deeper because doubt tried to consume them. The fire you walk through doesn't destroy you. It shapes you into steel. It is in those moments of hardship that your foundation is laid. Not the foundation of weakness, but the foundation of strength. You are being prepared for opportunities you cannot yet see. You are being molded for victories that require more of you than who you were yesterday. The struggle is not meant to bury you. It is meant to plant you. And when the time is right, you will rise stronger, higher, and brighter than before. So the next time life tests you, don't ask why me. Instead, declare, try me. Because every struggle is proof that you are not done rising. Life will always have moments where it knocks you off your feet. You will face rejection, disappointment, and moments where the weight feels unbearable. But the truth is, being knocked down is not the end of your story. It's the invitation to rise stronger. Falling is not failure. Staying down is. What defines you is not the setback itself, but the choice you make in that very moment. Do you stay on the ground, or do you find the courage to stand back up? That decision will shape the rest of your life. We all admire people who succeed against the odds, but their victories didn't come because life spared them from hardship. Their victories came because when they fell, they refused to stay down. Every single time they were told a no, they found a way to create a new yes. Every time the world closed a door, they decided to build their own. That resilience is not reserved for a chosen few. It lives in every one of us. You have that same power within you, but you have to be willing to use it. There will be moments when giving up feels easier than trying again. When the pain of starting over feels heavier than the hope of pushing forward. But in those moments, you must remember, nothing great is built without persistence. Strength doesn't come from never being hurt. It comes from refusing to let hurt define you. The world may count you out, but what matters most is that you never count yourself out. Standing back up is an act of courage. It is a declaration to yourself and to the world that you are not finished. That no matter how many times you've been pushed back, you still have more to give. You are not defeated until you accept defeat, and you are not done until you decide to stop. The hardest part is often not the fall, It's finding the will to rise again. But when you do, you prove to yourself that there is nothing that can hold you down for long. So when life knocks you down, rise. Again and again, rise. Because every time you stand back up, you reclaim your power, and you remind the world you were never meant to stay down. One of the greatest battles you will ever fight is not against the world, but against the voice inside your own head. That quiet whisper that tells you you're not enough, that you don't have what it takes, that your dreams are too far out of reach. It's a voice that grows louder every time you stumble, every time someone doubts you, every time the path ahead feels uncertain. But here's the truth. What you believe about yourself will always be more powerful than what anyone else believes about you. You cannot rise if you keep questioning your worth. You cannot move forward if you allow fear and doubt to dictate your steps. The world will always have something to say, but you have the final word. And that word must be rooted in belief. Belief in your strength, belief in your vision, belief in the potential that is already inside of you. You don't have to wait for validation. You don't have to wait for permission. Everything you need to rise is already within you. Think about it. Every great leader, every innovator, every person who changed history was told at some point that they couldn't do it. They were underestimated, doubted, and even ridiculed. But what set them apart was not luck, not privilege, not perfection. It was belief. They decided to believe in themselves when no one else did. And that belief fueled them to keep going long enough to prove everyone wrong. You have that same power. The moment you stop seeking approval and start trusting your own voice, you shift everything. Confidence doesn't mean you never feel fear. It means you move forward despite it. It means you choose to see your own potential even when the world overlooks it. And when you walk in that belief, you inspire others to believe too. The truth is, no one else can hand you confidence. No one else can place belief into your heart. That is a choice only you can make. And when you finally choose to believe, when you decide that doubt no longer defines you, something extraordinary happens. Your steps become stronger, your vision becomes clearer, and your life begins to rise to the level of your belief. So never forget this. The moment you believe in yourself, the world has no choice but to rise with you. Rising up is not only about what you achieve for yourself, it is also about the impact you create for others. The truth is, your strength, your courage, and your persistence were never meant to stop with you. Every time you rise, you become an example, a light and a possibility for someone else who is watching, quietly wondering if they can rise too. Your victories are not just personal, they are proof to the world that it can be done. Think about the times in your life when someone's story inspired you. Maybe it was someone who overcame impossible odds, someone who kept going when everything was against them, or someone who simply refused to give up. Their rise gave you permission to believe in your own. That is the power you carry. Whether you realize it or not, someone is watching you. Someone is learning from the way you handle challenges, from the way you stand tall, from the way you refuse to back down. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to rise, and in doing so, you will inspire others to do the same. There is something greater than success, and that is significance. Success is about what you gain, but significance is about what you give. It's about lifting others as you climb, about showing them that the same strength you found is available to them too. When you rise, you create a ripple effect. Your courage awakens courage, your persistence fuels persistence, your belief unlocks belief. This is how legacies are built, not just by achieving for ourselves, but by empowering others to discover their own ability to rise. And make no mistake, the world needs more people willing to rise not just for themselves, but for the generations coming after them. Every rise plants a seed, and every seed grows into something bigger than we could have imagined. You may never know the full impact of your strength, but I promise you, it will reach farther than you think. So rise boldly, not only to change your own life, but to light the way for others. Because when you rise, you make it possible for the world to rise with you.